Tonight, we're going somewhere very far away. Somewhere so quiet that silence has a texture. Somewhere, the only thing between you and the whole universe is a pane of glass. All you need to do is breathe and let yourself float. You are aboard a spaceship, a very large, very quiet spaceship. You became aware of it gradually, the way you become aware of a room you've been sitting in for a while, noticing its dimensions and its light for the first time. The observation deck is enormous. The ceiling arches far above you, curving gently, like the inside of a cathedral, and the walls on 3 sides are almost entirely glass. Not windows exactly, more like the ship simply opens itself to space here. As if someone decided that glass was the only appropriate boundary between the crew and the universe outside. The deck is dimly lit. Warm amber panels set low along the floor cast just enough light to see by without competing with the stars. The designers understood that you would come here to look outward, not inward. The light knows its place. You are lying on a wide, low couch near the center of the deck. It is upholstered in something soft, not quite fabric, not quite leather, something that holds the warmth of your body and returns it gently. There is a blanket across you, lightweight but surprisingly warm, the color of deep charcoal. Someone placed it there while you were resting. You are grateful without knowing who to thank. The rest of the ship is asleep. You can feel it, the particular stillness of a large vessel in the deep hours, when the corridors are empty and the hum of the engines has settled into something almost subliminal. Not silence exactly, but the closest thing to silence that a living ship can offer. You have the observation deck entirely to yourself. You turn your head toward the glass. The stars are extraordinary out here. Without an atmosphere to scatter and soften their light, they are simply themselves, hard, bright points of absolute certainty against a darkness so complete it seems almost solid. Not the darkness of a room with the lights off. Something older than that. Something that was here long before there were rooms or lights or anyone to turn them off. You have been in space long enough, now that the stars no longer feel distant. They feel like company. Patient, unhurried company that asks nothing of you and expects nothing in return. The kind of company you can be quiet with. Directly ahead, or what a ship is called in ahead tonight, there is a moon. You have known it was coming for several days now. The navigational charts called it by a number and a letter designation, something technical and forgettable. But to you, it has simply been the quiet moon. The one you have been watching grow slowly larger in the glass, night after night, like something being gradually revealed. Tonight, it fills nearly a quarter of the view ahead. It is pale, not the warm ivory of Earth's moon, but something cooler, more silver, like light passing through very thin ice. Its surface is smooth in places and deeply textured in others. Long, shallow ridges running in slow arcs, as though something enormous and gentle once dragged its fingers across the landscape and then moved on. There is no atmosphere there, no weather, no sound at all, ever. Just the slow turning, the steady ancient stillness, the patient accumulation of light and shadow as its day cycles in its own time. You find this deeply comforting. You shift slightly on the couch and notice how little effort it takes. The ship's gravity is gentler out here, not absent, but reduced, dialed down to something more suggestion than law. Your body feels lighter than it has in years. Not weightless exactly, but unburdened. As though something you had been carrying, something you had stopped noticing you were carrying, has been quietly set down. Your shoulders sink into the cushion. Your hands rest open at your sides, palms up, fingers loose. Your jaw is soft. Your breath moves slowly through you, in through the nose, a long pause at the top, then out, carrying with it whatever the day left behind. The ship moves, but you cannot feel it moving. This is one of the things about deep space travel that no one quite prepares you for, the total absence of sensation of motion. There is no wind, no road beneath you, no current pushing back. Only the stars shifting by imperceptible degrees, and the moon ahead growing slowly, slowly larger. If you closed your eyes, you would have no evidence at all that you were moving. You close your eyes. Behind your eyelids, the darkness is soft. Not the sharp darkness of a closed room, but something spacious. Room-sized, then larger. As though the inside of your mind has borrowed the scale of the view outside and made itself accordingly vast and quiet and still. You open your eyes again. The moon is closer now. You can see the texture of it more clearly, the long pale ridges, the shallow craters worn smooth by millennia, the places where the light catches an edge and throws a shadow, so precise and clean it looks almost drawn. The ship has begun its slow arc around the moon's horizon. You watch the line between light and shadow creep across the surface below. It moves the way the hour hand of a clock moves. Not visibly, but undeniably. If you look away and look back, it has moved. The stars behind the moon's edge are being eclipsed one by one as the ship continues its arc. Each one disappears cleanly, present, then gone, swallowed by the moon's dark limb. You watch this happen with a feeling that is very close to tenderness. The hum of the ship is very faint now. Or perhaps you have simply stopped hearing it. The way you stop hearing your own breathing. The way you stop noticing the weight of a blanket. once it has been on you long enough. The moon fills half the glass now, silver and still and ancient, asking nothing, offering nothing except its presence, which is, you find, exactly enough. You can see the craters clearly now, each one a perfect circle, some vast and shallow, like ancient lakes drained of everything except memory, others small and precise, punched cleanly into the surface by something that arrived fast and left immediately. They overlap in places, older ones interrupted by newer ones, a quiet record of everything that has ever found its way here. You trace the largest one with your eyes, the way you might trace a scar. Gently, without judgment. There is a mountain range along the moon's southern edge. You hadn't noticed it until now. It had been lost in the flat silver wash of the surface from farther away. But this close, you can see the ridgelines clearly, long and gradual, rising and falling without drama. No snow on them, no trees, no weather to wear them down or build them up. Just rock exactly as it has always been, patient as only something truly ancient can be patient. You watch the shadow of the nearest peak stretch across the valley below it, a dark line so clean and absolute it seems drawn with intention. The light on the moon's surface shifts as the ship continues its arc. What was in shadow a few minutes ago catches the sun now, revealing texture you couldn't see before. Ripples in the rock, long shallow grooves running in slow parallel lines across a wide plateau, the ghost of some geological event so old it has no name. The moon is always revealing something new if you stay long enough. If you are patient enough, if you are still enough, you are all of those things right now. Somewhere on the surface, directly below, there is a place that never sees the sun. A crater so deep, angled just so, that the light has never reached its floor in all the billions of years the moon has been turning. Permanently shadowed, perfectly cold, perfectly still. You think about that place for a moment, not with unease, but with something closer to recognition. There are quiet, unreachable places in all of us, places that have never needed the light to be exactly what they are. The thought settles in you like something that was always true and simply needed the right moment to be spoken. Your body is very heavy. The couch holds all of it. You are not thinking about tomorrow. You are not thinking about yesterday. You are thinking about nothing at all, which is another way of saying you are watching the moon. The light from it is very soft. Second-hand light. Light that left a star, traveled unimaginable distance, struck a cold surface, and turned gentle on the way back. That is the light on your face right now. Somewhere far behind you, The ship breathes. The stars hold their positions. The moon turns, slowly, as it always has, as it always will. You're very small out here, and somehow that is the most restful thought you have had all day. Small and held and completely, entirely safe. The ship drifts. You drift with it. The moon is beside you now rather than ahead. You are in its orbit, moving together. The ship and the moon and you, turning slowly around a shared center of gravity that neither of you chose and neither of you questions. The glass is cool if you imagine pressing your hand to it. The moon is ancient if you let yourself feel the distance. The darkness is vast if you let it be. Let it be. Let it all be. Stay here as long as you like. The orbit will keep you. The ship knows the way. Good night.